If you're anything like me, then you'll have childhood memories of heading to the pool and getting out and feeling pretty ravenous. I have to admit, I've actually carried this through to adulthood, and when I finish a swim session, I'll eat pretty much anything I can get my hands on. And if this sounds familiar, you might be pleased to hear there's actually some evidence as to why this happens. So today, I'm going to go and investigate why swimming makes us so hungry. This answer actually involves several layers, and in general, your body is actually starting to compensate for that drop in core body temperature after spending some time in the pool. But more on that bit in a moment. This is then coupled with the fact that obviously you have burned a significant amount of calories, just like you would with any form of exercise. And these two together then trigger your body to release more of the hunger hormone, ghrelin, which obviously is going to make you want to eat more and helps your body to make sure that you're refueling. Perhaps this can help answer the riddle that many people face. It's common for someone to go and do exercise purely to lose weight, but it doesn't always get the results that they might be hoping for. And that's because it's really easy to actually consume more calories than you're burning during that activity. So with that in mind, I think it's time we head to the swimming pool. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Put that into swimming terms, and if you're in water that's close to body temperature, so 37 degrees centigrade or 98 Fahrenheit, then it's actually been proven to have less of an effect on your hunger, as your body isn't going to need to react to conditions that are more similar to what it's used to normally. That sounds simple, right? However, most swimming pools obviously aren't heated up to body temperature water. They're normally closer to 28 degrees centigrade, which is 82 Fahrenheit. That said, I can't imagine actually swimming in water that is at body temperature, as even in conditions of 30 degrees, for example, it's going to be rather hard to get any fast efforts, and it'll make you feel pretty lethargic. However, on the flip side, if you were doing a training session that gets you hot and sweaty, it tends to have the effect of actually suppressing your appetite. And this is partly due to the fact that the blood is going to need to flow to the surface to help your body cool down and regulate its temperature, and therefore it's taking the blood away from your stomach. Whereas if you're doing the same intensity of exercise but in a swimming pool, for example, it's going to be much cooler, so your body isn't naturally going to have to cool itself down, so the blood can continue to flow as normal, including to your stomach, which then in theory allows you to become hungry. Whether you're swimming in a pool or open water, the colder the water, the greater the effect it's going to have on your hunger, and the more likely you are to make poor food choices, whether that's going home and raiding the fridge, or even stopping on your way home at the local garage or shop and picking up food that isn't going to help with your recovery. Well, you might be wondering if this has the same effect of doing a training session outside in the cold. Well, it doesn't in actual fact, as obviously we've talked about earlier that the water temperature has a far greater effect on your core body temperature than the surrounding air would do. So I expect you are dying to know what you can do to counteract this feeling of extreme hunger you get after swimming. Well, like we've talked about the cooling effect, you now need to warm your core body temperature up to try and reduce that feeling of hunger. One of which, if you've got the facilities, is to jump in a sauna or a hot tub for 5 to 10 minutes, and that will soon bring your temperature back up and hopefully suppress some of that hunger. If you don't have those facilities, then maybe just sit under a nice warm shower. Also, having a hot drink can get straight to your core and can really have a positive effect there. And if all else fails and you are still going to be hungry after swimming, and after all you have burnt some calories, then just make sure you're prepared for that by bringing plenty of healthy snacks that you can have straight after your swim, rather than getting tempted by the swim sports cafe or the vending machines on your way home. I think the biggest take home from this investigation is the fact that that hunger you feel after swimming doesn't directly reflect the amount of calories you might have burned or how hard or how long your swim session was. And I know it's reassured me to know that I'm not alone in this feeling of hunger after swimming. And also just to understand what's happening will enable me to be better prepared next time, and hopefully you guys too. Let us know in the comments section below how you deal with your post-swimming hunger, and give us a like and a follow at GTN.